Before you start any kind of work, how you prepare can shape everything that comes after. Most people dive straight in, reacting to tasks, juggling distractions, and wondering why they feel drained by the end of the day. But the truth is, it's not about how many hours you work. It's about how you use your focus. If you want to get more done, feel more in control, and actually enjoy the process, then you need to stop multitasking. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why committing to one task at a time is the shift that can change everything. Number 1. Prepare a clear and focused intention for the task. Before anything meaningful begins, before the hard work, the long hours, the challenges, the success, there's one thing you must take seriously: your intention. Most people rush into work without really thinking. They wake up, pick up their phone, check some emails, scroll through social media, and then try to dive into tasks. But they never really pause to ask, why am I doing this today? That one question is where your power starts. Preparing a clear and focused intention is not about making a long to-do list. It's about getting honest with yourself about what matters. It's about giving your energy direction. When your energy has direction, your time becomes meaningful. And when your time is meaningful, your work becomes purposeful. Think about it. How often do you sit down to do something, and an hour later you realize you've barely made progress? That happens when you work without clarity. That happens when your mind is somewhere else, while your body is trying to do the task. So today, before any work begins, pause. I mean really pause. Take a minute. Sit down. Turn off all the noise around you. No phone, no distractions, just you and your mind. Ask yourself, what do I want to achieve today? What really matters right now? It doesn't have to be a big achievement. It just has to be real. Now write it down. Not in your head on paper. Writing makes it real. If it stays in your head, it stays vague. And vague intentions lead to scattered effort. A written intention, on the other hand, gives you clarity. It gives you something to return to when you feel lost halfway through the day. Here's what I want you to understand. You are not doing this to feel busy. You are doing this to make your day count. You're doing this to make progress, real progress that feels satisfying. Because there's a difference between being active and being productive. One drains your time, the other builds your life. That's why intention is so important. It's the mental preparation that separates the people who react all day from the people who create their day. Now think about how different your day would look if you walked into your task already knowing what you're aiming for. Think about how much easier it would be to say no to distractions if your mind was locked in on one clear objective. Because here's the truth: when your intention is clear, your decisions become simple. You don't waste time second-guessing. You don't drift from one thing to the next, hoping something will stick. You know what matters, and you work on it, fully present, fully focused. And this doesn't only affect your productivity, it changes the way you feel. A clear intention makes you feel in control. It builds your confidence. It reminds you that you're not just reacting to life, you're choosing how to live it. And that's a powerful feeling. So how do you actually do this? It's simple, but powerful. Every morning, or before starting any important work, sit in silence for a minute. Just sit. Don't pick up your phone. Don't rush into emails. Sit quietly and give your mind space to settle. Ask yourself, what is the one thing I want to accomplish with this task? Not 5 things. Not 10. 1. Focus brings results. Clarity beats overwhelm. Write it down. On paper. In a notebook. On a sticky note. Anywhere. Just make it visible. Close your eyes for a few seconds and imagine yourself completing that task. Feel the satisfaction, feel the relief, feel the pride. That moment of visualization anchors your intention emotionally. It makes it real, and your brain starts moving in that direction automatically. Now begin. Fully present, fully aware, with intention. This small shift, this 1 minute of clarity before you start, can change your entire day. I'm not saying every day will be perfect. Life throws curveballs. Distractions come. But when you know why you started, it's easier to return to the path. And if you do this consistently, it starts to build something powerful inside you. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop needing permission. You stop getting pulled by random things all day. You show up. You know why you're there. And you work with purpose. You're not just ticking boxes. You're building something real. You're moving forward, step by step, with clear focus. And that's what separates the people who achieve from those who stay stuck. Every big goal starts small, and every small start should begin with clear intention. So before you jump into your next task, ask yourself this: what am I doing this for? And then give yourself a reason that matters. Not for someone else, not to impress anyone, not because you have to, but because you choose to, because this step matters, because this work done right takes you one step closer to the life you want. It's easy to forget that the most powerful moments in our day often happen in silence, in stillness, before the noise begins. That's where real strength grows. The moment before the action, the breath before the effort, the clarity before the motion. That's where champions are built, quietly, consistently, intentionally. So every time you're about to begin something, pause, take that one deep breath, and prepare your intention like it matters, because it does. That one step could change the way you work, and over time it could change the way you live. Number 2, remove all distractions from your workspace completely. If you're serious about doing meaningful work, you need to take control of your space. Because whether you realize it or not, your environment is always influencing your focus, your energy, and your output. One of the most important things you can do before starting any task, whether it's big or small, is to remove every distraction from your workspace. Not just some, all of them. Completely. Why? Because even the smallest distractions can quietly drain your focus and slow you down without you even noticing. Think about it. You sit down to get started. You're motivated. You're ready to work. But right next to your hand is your phone. It's on silent, but every few minutes the screen lights up. A new message. A new update. A thought creeps in. Should I check it real quick? You tell yourself it'll only take a second, but that 1 second turns into 5 minutes. Then 10. Then you're out of the zone. It happens to everyone. And it doesn't stop at phones. It's open tabs on your computer. Random clutter on your desk. A TV on in the background. Notifications popping up, people walking in and out of the room. These small interruptions, these seemingly harmless things, pull you away from deep focus. And when your focus breaks, your best work disappears with it. Distractions don't always come with a loud noise. Most of them are quiet, sneaky. They sit in your space and pull at your attention just enough to make you slower, more anxious, and less productive. You don't even feel it at first. But over time, your energy feels scattered. You wonder why you're tired. You wonder why things take longer. It's because your attention is being constantly pulled in different directions. That's why before you even begin your work, you need to create a space that supports your focus. a space that protects your attention, a space that allows you to be fully present. This isn't about being a minimalist or having the perfect office setup. It's about owning your space and removing anything that doesn't belong there while you work. So how do you actually do it? Start simple. Look around your workspace. Is there anything in your line of sight that doesn't serve the task you're about to do? If yes, move it. If you don't need it for the next hour, it shouldn't be there. Put your phone on airplane mode or place it in another room. One of the biggest traps is keeping your phone next to you while telling yourself you won't touch it. That's a lie your brain loves to believe. But the truth is, even seeing your phone increases your chance of checking it. Out of sight really is out of mind when it comes to distractions. Close all tabs on your computer that aren't directly related to the task. No music players if you're not using them. No email if you're not answering emails. No social media. No YouTube unless it's work-related. Your browser can either be a tool or a trap. It depends on how you use it. Now take a look at your physical space. Is your desk messy? Is there clutter that adds to your mental load? If you're surrounded by things that remind you of other tasks or unfinished work, your brain will struggle to stay in the present. Take 2 minutes and clear the area. Even wiping the surface clean can make a difference. A clean space encourages a calm mind. If you share your space with others, communicate clearly. Put up a visual signal, a sign, a closed door, headphones, something that says, "I'm working, please don't interrupt." You're not being rude. You're setting boundaries to protect your time, your focus, and your goals. You also need to control what you hear. If background noise distracts you, use noise-canceling headphones or play soft instrumental music that helps you concentrate. Avoid lyrics or anything that pulls your attention away. Every sound in your space should serve your work, not compete with it. Lighting matters too. A well-lit space keeps your brain alert. Open the curtains. Let in natural light if possible. It helps more than you think. If it's dark, use a focused lamp that brightens your desk without creating glare. Good light equals good energy. But this goes even deeper. Removing distractions isn't just about the outside. It's also about what's happening in your mind. Before you begin working, ask yourself, what's pulling at my thoughts right now? Maybe it's a conversation you had earlier. Maybe it's something you need to do later today. Write it down. Create a mental parking lot, a simple list where you place those thoughts so they're out of your mind and waiting for you later. That way, your mind doesn't keep bringing them up while you're trying to focus. Now, think about how different your work would feel if your space was clear, your mind was calm, and your focus was locked in. No phone, no clutter, no noise, just you and your work. You'd move faster, you'd feel lighter, you'd get into the flow. That state where time disappears and you're fully immersed. That's where real results happen. But it starts with the environment you create before you even begin. Discipline isn't always about doing more. Sometimes it's about removing what doesn't belong. It's about clearing space for excellence to show up. When you remove distractions, you create room for your best work. You give yourself the gift of clarity. And over time, this becomes a habit, a part of your routine. You walk into your space, remove the noise, and switch on your focus like a light. It becomes second nature. You don't waste time trying to get in the zone. You're already there because you've built the environment for it. It's a small action that builds big momentum, because in the end, your space is a reflection of your priorities. A focused space reflects a focused mind, and a focused mind is unstoppable. So the next time you sit down to work, Don't just start. Prepare. Remove the distractions completely. Own your environment. And watch how everything else begins to change. Your speed, your clarity, your results, and your confidence. Work done with full focus doesn't just move faster, it feels better, it's more rewarding. It builds your self-respect, and over time, it shapes your future. Clear the space, clear the noise, clear your path, and then begin with full intention, full presence, and full power. Number 3, write down the top one goal to finish. There's something powerful about putting pen to paper, more than just a habit. It's a signal to your brain. This is what matters right now. Before you begin any work, before the rush of tasks, messages, meetings, or responsibilities, there's one thing that can shift everything. Write down the one goal you must finish today. Not 5 goals, not 10, just one. The most important one. When you start your day or any work session with a list of 10 things, your energy becomes divided. You start thinking about everything all at once. You start bouncing between tasks, jumping from one window to the next, checking one thing off here, another there, until the day ends and nothing truly important got done. But when you start with just one clear goal, everything else falls into place. That one goal becomes your anchor, your focus narrows, your time becomes intentional. You stop reacting and start building. Now think about this. What if every day, no matter how busy things got, you always completed your most important task, just one? Every single day, think about how much real progress you'd make in a month, in a year. That's how momentum is created, not by trying to do everything, but by consistently doing what matters most. The reason this works so well is simple. Writing forces clarity. When you sit down and write your goal by hand, it makes you think, it forces you to choose. It asks you, what's the one thing that if I finished it today would make everything else easier or less urgent? That's a powerful question, and it's one most people avoid. Because it's easier to stay busy than it is to stay focused. Busy looks productive, focused is productive. There's a difference. Writing your one goal down also creates a kind of emotional commitment. It's not just a passing thought anymore. It's a decision. It's something you've acknowledged, something you've chosen to bring into the world. Once it's written, it exists. It's yours to finish. Now some people will hear this and say, but I have more than one thing to do today. And yes, you probably do. Most people have dozens of responsibilities, but not all tasks are equal. Some things move the needle. Some things are noise. Writing down your top goal helps you see the difference. It forces you to prioritize. It forces you to slow down and ask, what truly matters today? When you skip that step, you end up reacting to the loudest thing instead of responding to the most important one. Here's something most people never realize. Starting your day without a clear focus means other people will decide your focus for you. Your inbox, your co-workers, notifications, random thoughts. You'll spend your time chasing things that don't matter instead of building the life you actually want. So how do you do this effectively? It's not complicated. In fact, the simplicity is what makes it powerful. First, sit down with a blank page, quiet space, no noise. Then ask yourself one honest question. If I only finished one thing today, what should it be? Think about deadlines. Think about your goals. Think about what's been weighing on your mind. Then choose one thing, the task that would bring you the most peace, progress, or power if completed. Now write it clearly. No vague language. Be specific. Not work on report, but finish final report draft and send to manager. Not make content, but create and schedule one video script for Friday. The clearer you are, the easier it is to start and finish. Then keep that goal visible. On your desk, on a sticky note, on your phone screen if you must, but somewhere you'll see it. Every time your attention drifts, go back to that goal. Ask yourself, am I working on this right now, or am I avoiding it? That little question can bring you back on track over and over again. You don't need more motivation. You need more clarity. And clarity comes from writing. One goal, one sentence, one decision. Over time, this practice trains your mind to think with purpose. You stop getting lost in long task lists. You stop wasting time on low-priority tasks. You stop feeling overwhelmed. You start building your days around results, not just effort. That shift alone can change your career, your mindset, your life. You'll start ending your days with satisfaction, not exhaustion, because finishing one thing that matters always feels better than half finishing 10 things that don't. Now think about how this applies to your long-term goals. The big ones. The ones that seem far away. Those are built by small daily actions. If you take one meaningful step every day, how far could you be in 6 months, a year? Further than most people ever reach, because you stayed focused. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can achieve in a year. But those who write their goal down, one day at a time, inch forward, day after day, with clarity, with calm, with intention. And that's what separates real progress from just being busy. So before you start your next work session, stop for a moment. Take out your notebook. Ask yourself that one powerful question. What's the one thing I must finish today? Not what's urgent, not what's easiest, but what's most important. Then write it, own it, and begin. Not with pressure, not with stress, but with clarity. Because a clear mind gets more done. A focused heart stays consistent. And a single finished task done with intention is worth more than 100 scattered efforts. Build this habit. One goal, one line, one page at a time. It's not flashy, it's not dramatic, but it works. It changes your pace, it changes your power, and eventually, it changes your life. Number 4, set a specific time limit to stay on track. Every moment you spend working has a cost, not just in time but in energy and focus. When work drags on without boundaries, it drains you, it wears you down. You lose energy, motivation, and eventually the quality of your output suffers. That's why setting a specific time limit before you start any work is one of the most powerful habits you can develop. A clear deadline for yourself creates structure. It gives your brain a target. It forces you to focus, not just work. When you don't set a time limit, work tends to expand. Tasks that could take 30 minutes stretch into hours. Your mind wanders. You check your phone. You get distracted. You push the boundaries of your day until everything blurs together and you wonder where the time went. But when you set a time limit, say 25 minutes or 1 hour, you create a container for your work. That container helps your brain lock in. It says, I only have this much time to get this done. Suddenly, distractions feel bigger. The clock is ticking. You feel urgency, not panic, but focused energy. Science backs this up. Time limits boost focus and productivity. They train your brain to concentrate harder. This technique is sometimes called the Pomodoro technique, working for short, focused intervals with breaks in between. But you don't need to follow a method perfectly. What matters is that you give your work a clear start and a clear stop time. Setting a time limit also helps fight perfectionism. When you know you only have an hour, you stop trying to make everything perfect. You focus on progress. You get the job done. Then you move on. That's progress in action. This approach changes how you feel about work. Instead of dread or boredom, you feel purpose and momentum. Instead of wandering aimlessly through your tasks, you're sprinting toward a finish line. Here's how to set your time limit in a way that works. First, decide what you want to work on and how long it realistically should take. Don't guess wildly. If you think a task might take 2 hours, break it into smaller chunks, maybe 30 minutes for the first step, then 45 for the next. Write down your time limit along with your task. Seeing it helps your brain stay aware. Then use a timer. This can be your phone, a kitchen timer, or a timer app. When you start, set the timer and don't stop until it rings. During this time, protect yourself from distractions. No phone, no social media, no unnecessary tabs open. Just focus on the task. You'll find that knowing the timer is running pushes you to work more efficiently. You'll notice small tasks getting done faster and larger tasks becoming less intimidating. After the timer goes off, take a break. Stand up, stretch, walk around, breathe, then assess your progress. If you're done, great. If not, set another timer and keep going. Breaking work into timed sessions keeps you refreshed and motivated. Setting a time limit also trains your mind to respect your own schedule. It builds self-discipline. Over time, this habit helps you manage your day better, prevents burnout, and makes your work feel manageable instead of overwhelming. The truth is, every great achievement happens in focused moments, not by working endlessly, but by working with intention and limits. So before you start your next task, decide exactly how long you will work on it. Write that down, set your timer, protect that time like it's precious, because it is. This small step creates a powerful rhythm in your day. It gives you control. It helps you win over procrastination. It turns scattered effort into steady progress. And remember, this isn't about rushing. It's about creating space for deep focus and then honoring the limits you set. When your time is limited, your attention sharpens naturally. No matter what you're working on, time limits help you stay on track, build momentum, and finish stronger. The clock is not your enemy. It's your ally. Use it wisely. Number 5. Visualize yourself completing the task successfully before you start any work. Imagine the moment when you finish it. See yourself completing that task, not just thinking about it, but really feeling it. This simple act of visualization is more powerful than most people realize. Your mind doesn't easily separate real experiences from vivid mental images. When you imagine yourself succeeding, your brain prepares your body to move toward that success. Visualization programs your focus and energy. It builds confidence. It reduces stress. Think about how you approach a new task. Sometimes you hesitate. You worry about mistakes. You wonder if you have what it takes. Those doubts slow you down before you even begin. But when you take a moment to picture yourself finishing successfully, those doubts start to fade. You see the end result clearly. You feel the satisfaction. You feel the relief. That feeling motivates you. Visualization is like a mental rehearsal. Athletes use it before big games. Musicians before concerts. Successful people use it before important work. It's a way to train your brain to expect success. When your brain expects success, your actions follow. Here's how to visualize your success effectively. First, find a quiet moment before you start working. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Picture the task in your mind from start to finish. Imagine every detail. See yourself working steadily. See yourself overcoming small challenges. See yourself reaching the goal. Picture how it feels to finish. Pride, relief, joy, accomplishment. Hold on to that feeling. This mental image creates an emotional connection to your goal. Your brain starts to believe it's possible. It prepares you to act in ways that make it real. When you open your eyes and start working, you'll notice a new sense of clarity and motivation. You won't feel lost or overwhelmed. You'll have a clear picture guiding you. Visualization doesn't guarantee an easy path. You'll face obstacles and hard moments. But because you've already seen success, you're better prepared to keep going. This practice also reduces anxiety. Instead of fearing failure, you focus on winning. That mindset change makes a huge difference in how you approach your work. Over time, visualization builds your confidence. You learn to trust yourself. You prove to yourself that success is possible. That belief fuels your actions. Imagine the difference this can make if you do it before every work session. Your mindset shifts. Your focus sharpens. Your energy aligns with your goals. Success becomes less about luck and more about preparation, mental and physical. Remember, your mind is a powerful tool. It either works for you or against you. Visualization trains it to work with you. Before you begin your next task, take a moment to see your success clearly. Feel it fully. Use that feeling as your fuel. You're not just hoping for success, you're preparing for it. And when your mind is ready, your body and actions will follow. Number 6. Take a few deep breaths to reset your mind. Before starting any task, something simple and powerful can change everything. Taking a few deep breaths to reset your mind. Most of us underestimate how much our breathing affects how we feel, how we think, and how we perform. When stress or distraction creeps in, our breath often becomes shallow or erratic without us noticing. That subtle change impacts our focus, our energy, and even our emotions. A quick breath reset is like hitting the refresh button on your brain. It clears away mental fog, reduces anxiety, and brings your attention back to the present moment. When you pause and breathe deeply before you work, you're not just oxygenating your body, you're calming your nervous system. You're telling your mind, I am here, I am ready. That simple act lowers stress hormones and opens space for clear thinking. Many people rush from one task to the next without this pause. They start their work already feeling scattered or overwhelmed. This makes concentration harder, mistakes more likely, and motivation lower. But when you consciously take a few deep breaths, you create a moment of calm. Your mind settles, your focus sharpens. Here's how to do it. Sit comfortably or stand with your back straight. Close your eyes if you want. Inhale slowly through your nose, feeling your lungs expand fully. Hold for a moment. Then exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing tension. Repeat this cycle 3 to 5 times. As you breathe, notice how your body softens. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel your jaw relax. Let go of any racing thoughts. This moment of stillness grounds you. It reconnects you with your body and your purpose. You leave behind distractions and stress, even if just for a minute. When your eyes open, you'll notice your mind is clearer. Your energy feels steadier. You're ready to focus on what matters. This practice also helps with emotional control. If you start your work feeling anxious or frustrated, deep breathing reduces those feelings. It creates space between your emotions and your actions. That space lets you choose how to respond instead of reacting automatically. Over time, this simple habit builds resilience. You train yourself to reset quickly during the day, to regain calm and clarity even in difficult moments. Imagine how different your work would feel if every time you sat down, you took this breath reset first. Instead of rushing in stressed or distracted, you arrive calm and focused. This small pause can change the quality of your entire day. It sets a tone of calm confidence that flows through every task. Breathing is the most natural tool you have to manage stress and improve focus. It's always with you. It costs nothing, and yet most people don't use it consciously. Taking deep breaths before work isn't about slowing down forever. It's about pausing just long enough to start strong. Then you move forward with clarity and energy. So before your next task, remember this: a few deep breaths can clear your mind and reset your focus. It's a simple step with powerful results. Use your breath as your anchor. It's the foundation for calm, focused work. When your mind is clear, your work becomes easier, more effective, and more satisfying. You don't need complex tools to improve your focus, just your breath, your attention, and a few seconds of presence. Number 7. Gather all needed tools and resources beforehand. When you sit down to work, the last thing you want is to get halfway through and realize you don't have what you need. That frustration, that stop in momentum, it's draining. It breaks your flow and steals your focus. That's why gathering all your tools and resources before you begin is a game changer. It may sound simple, but it's one of the most effective ways to set yourself up for success. Imagine this: you start a task feeling ready and motivated, but after 10 minutes you need a file, a book, a website, or a specific app. Instead of working, you waste time searching, switching tabs, walking to get something, or asking for help. Every interruption like this slows you down. It breaks your concentration and tires your mind. The more times this happens, the harder it is to get back into the flow. Gathering everything beforehand solves this problem before it starts. It means you create a clear, uninterrupted path for your work. It means no surprises, no interruptions, just steady progress. Before starting any work, take a moment to ask yourself, what do I need to finish this task? Then get those things ready and within reach. It might be physical tools like notebooks, pens, or a specific device, or digital resources like files, research materials, or software. Having your environment prepared like this sends a message to your brain: I'm serious, I'm ready. That mental signal increases your focus. Think about how professional athletes prepare before a game. They warm up, put on their gear, and visualize the match. They don't start without what they need. You should treat your work the same way. If you need to reference notes or a book, have it open on your desk. If you're writing a report, make sure all your research files are on your computer and easily accessible. If you need apps or software, open them and set them up before you begin typing or designing. When everything is ready, your mind feels calm and in control. You're not juggling, searching, and working at the same time. This preparation reduces stress too. Instead of worrying about forgetting something important, you know it's all there. That peace of mind helps you concentrate. Over time, gathering your tools and resources beforehand becomes a habit that saves you hours. It helps you avoid those frustrating stops and starts. It keeps your momentum steady. When your workflow is steady, your output improves. Your quality rises. You feel more confident because you're not fighting the environment or logistics. You're focused on your task. It's not about perfection or over-preparing. It's about creating a smooth path. Like setting up your ingredients before cooking a meal. When everything is ready, cooking becomes enjoyable. efficient and satisfying. So before your next work session, pause and prepare. Make a quick checklist if you need to. Get all your tools, references and resources. Place them where you can easily reach. This simple step might take a few minutes, but it will save you time, energy, and frustration throughout your work. And it changes how you feel about your work. Preparation brings calm, calm brings focus, focus brings results. Your environment and preparation matter as much as your effort. Work smarter by preparing your space and resources. That way, when you begin, your mind is free to do what it does best: create, solve and build. Number 8. Review your plan or checklist before starting. Before you dive into any work, take a moment to review your plan or checklist. This simple habit does more than organize your day. It sets your mindset for success. Many people start working without a clear picture of what they're about to do. They jump from one task to another, reacting to whatever feels urgent or interesting in the moment. This reactionary approach drains energy, causes confusion, and wastes time. When you review your plan or checklist before you begin, you give yourself a clear roadmap. You know exactly what needs to be done, in what order, and why. This clarity creates focus. It reduces overwhelm. It gives your brain direction. You might get to your destination, but it will likely take longer and feel frustrating. Reviewing your plan before work is like setting your GPS. It guides every step and saves you from unnecessary detours. When you look at your checklist, you see the big picture. You understand how each task connects to your goal. This helps you prioritize effectively. You can focus on what matters most and avoid getting caught in busy work. Checking your plan also helps you identify potential challenges before they arise. If a task looks too big or unclear, you can break it down or prepare more. If something unexpected comes up, you're ready to adjust without losing momentum. Reviewing your plan creates confidence too. When you know what you're doing, you feel calm. You're not guessing or doubting. You're moving forward with purpose. This habit also improves your time management. When you review your checklist, you can estimate how long each task will take. You can schedule breaks and buffer time. This realistic approach prevents burnout and keeps your energy steady. Many successful people use checklists and plans not just to organize but to train their focus. The act of reviewing reminds them of their commitment. It's a moment of mental preparation that signals the start of productive work. Your plan or checklist is more than a list of tasks. It's a tool that connects your daily actions to your bigger vision. Reviewing it helps you stay aligned with your goals. If you don't have a written plan or checklist, start creating one. It doesn't have to be complicated. A simple list of what you need to accomplish today is enough. The key is to make it clear and specific. Before you begin working, read through it carefully. Visualize completing each task. Feel the progress you will make. This visualization strengthens your motivation. Once you start, refer back to your checklist regularly. Use it as a guide to stay on track. Crossing off tasks gives you a sense of accomplishment and drives you forward. Over time, reviewing your plan before starting becomes a powerful routine. It trains your brain to think ahead, prepare, and focus. It turns chaos into order and confusion into clarity. So before you start your next work session, take a moment, open your notebook, app, or wherever your plan lives. Look over your tasks, understand your priorities, prepare your mind. This small pause can make a big difference. It transforms how you work. It helps you get more done with less stress. In the end, your success depends on your ability to plan and focus. Reviewing your plan is one of the most practical ways to build that ability every day. Know your plan. Review it. Then move forward with clarity and purpose. Number 9. Clean your environment to create mental clarity. Your environment isn't just a place where you work, it's a reflection of your mind. When your space is cluttered, messy, or chaotic, your brain feels the same way. It becomes harder to focus, to think clearly, and to create your best work. That's why cleaning your environment before you begin any task is so important. Clearing the physical clutter creates room for mental clarity. It helps you focus deeply, feel calmer, and work more efficiently. When you enter a messy space, your brain registers all the visual distractions at once. Every object on your desk, every stray paper, every random item is competing for your attention, even if you don't realize it. This constant low-level distraction reduces your ability to concentrate. It makes tasks feel harder than they are. It tires your mind faster. But when you take the time to clean your workspace, put things away, organize papers, wipe surfaces, you're sending a signal to your brain. This space is ready for focus. This space supports my work. The impact is immediate. You feel lighter. Your mind slows down just enough to focus on the task at hand. Your creativity flows easier. Your stress decreases. Clean spaces reduce decision fatigue too. When you don't have to figure out where things are or what to move first, you conserve mental energy for more important decisions. Cleaning also improves your mood. A tidy environment feels more inviting and inspiring. It motivates you to show up and do your best work. The process of cleaning itself is a form of preparation. It shifts your mindset from distraction to intention. It's a quiet act of respect for your work and yourself. How you clean matters too. Don't aim for perfection or hours of deep cleaning. Focus on clearing your immediate workspace and removing what doesn't serve your work right now. A clear desk, organized tools, and a clean surface are enough to create that mental clarity. Simple daily maintenance can prevent clutter from piling up and stealing your focus. This habit of cleaning before work is common among highly productive people. They know that environment shapes performance. Over time, a clean workspace becomes a sanctuary where your best ideas happen. It becomes a place where you can show up fully and do your best. Imagine sitting down every day in a space that feels calm and inviting. A space that supports your goals instead of distracting you. How much easier would it be to focus? How much more confident would you feel? Cleaning your environment is not just about appearance, it's about creating the conditions for your mind to work at its best. So before your next work session, take a few minutes. Clear your desk. Organize your tools. Remove distractions. This small act creates big results. It creates mental clarity, boosts focus, and sets the stage for success. Your environment matters. Treat it as the foundation for your work and your growth. Clear your space, clear your mind, and open the door for your best work. Number 10. Eliminate multitasking and commit to single focus. Multitasking has become a badge of honor for many. We often feel proud when we juggle emails, messages, calls, and tasks all at once. But the truth is, multitasking doesn't make you more productive. It actually makes you less effective. Every time you try to do multiple things at once, your brain has to switch focus rapidly. This switching costs time and energy. It fragments your attention and lowers the quality of your work. Studies show that multitasking reduces productivity by up to 40%. When you multitask, you aren't actually doing two things at once. You're rapidly shifting your attention between tasks. That split focus means you're never fully engaged with any one thing. The result? Mistakes increase, creativity drops, and your brain feels exhausted faster. You may finish the day tired, overwhelmed, and with less to show for your effort. In contrast, committing to single focus changes everything. It means you give your full attention to one task until it's done, or until a set time has passed. This focused approach improves the quality of your work and speeds up completion. Single focus also reduces stress. When you're not pulling your attention in multiple directions, your mind feels calmer. You experience less anxiety and feel more in control. Think about how it feels to really concentrate. You're absorbed, energized, and your work flows smoothly. This state is often called flow, and it's the key to high performance. Eliminating multitasking isn't easy at first. It requires discipline and awareness. But the payoff is huge. Here's how to commit to single focus. Start by choosing one task that matters most. Turn off notifications. Close unrelated tabs and apps. Tell others you're not available during this time. Set a timer if needed. Work on that one task with full attention. When the timer ends or the task is complete, take a short break before moving to the next task. Over time, your brain trains itself to focus better. You'll get more done in less time. Your work will be sharper, and your stress will lessen. Single focus also helps with long-term goals. Deep work sessions build skills and creativity. Multitasking breaks that depth and stalls progress. This change in how you work shifts how you feel about your day. Instead of scattered and overwhelmed, you feel accomplished and calm. The culture of multitasking makes single focus seem slow or inefficient. But real success comes from deep, intentional work. If you want to be more productive and feel better while working, eliminate multitasking. Commit fully to one task at a time. Your mind deserves that respect. Your goals deserve that attention. Before your next work session, prepare yourself to focus on just one thing. Protect that focus fiercely. The results will surprise you.